Okay. I think everything's running. Everything seems to be functioning. Alright. So yeah, sorry for the super late start today. That's just the way things worked out today. Like I said, I still wanted to try to get it in, but sometimes that means we have to start super late. So I have been getting some work done on our base last night and today. In fact, I got so wrapped up in working on the base last night, I forgot that I was supposed to be editing that video. So, you know, shit happens. But we'll work on the video tonight. So this is our nub on our tree that we've got started here. So we're gonna start to get this guy wrapped up and covered as best as we can. We might take a little bit of extra fussing here and there as we work our way down with thin spots opening up and what have you. That's just going to be the nature of it. Now we do have our styrofoam core in here, or our craft foam core, really is what it was called. And we took a piece of felt, we did that yesterday, we wrapped it around, we needle felted the seam together so it's not flopping everywhere. So we didn't actually glue the felt to the foam. Because that would probably snap a few needles if we did that. And not really necessary. Not when the felt sticks to itself pretty good, especially when you just like needle felt the seams together and into the styrofoam at the same time. It's all fine. Besides, nobody's gonna see that ugly ass seam anyway, because we're gonna cover that up with our fuzz here. Now this is the Paint Box Simply Chunky yarn. It was on sale as of yesterday for $2.99 a ball. Insane. I don't know if it still is, but it seems to go on sale pretty regularly. And so far, not sponsored whatsoever. But I am enjoying it. Got a real soft, silky texture to it. It's an acrylic blend. It's not 100% acrylic. It's got a few other things in there. But it is working pretty well for our purposes. Sorry, I'm just seeing if there's any place else in there that needed a little bit more attention. I'm actually thinking I might need to zoom that in a little bit further, because it doesn't look like we're all that zoomed in so that you can't really see that well. I mean, if I try to stand it up, it's gonna be like poking your eye out, so we'll have to make sure this guy stays laying down. I've got a little bit of craft foam fleckage happening here on the pad, but I think that was more from yesterday. That's what all these little white bits are. I think it was more from yesterday when the bottom was pretty exposed to the pad there. So how was everybody's Halloween? I hope it was all you dreamed it would be. Ours was nice and quiet, because our town does a trunk or treat for the kids. They were supposed to do it on Saturday, but it poured just about all day. So they didn't think they were going to be able to get it in, so they moved it to tonight. It's the first time that I know of since they started doing it that they've done it on Halloween night. So I thought that was interesting, and there's a lot of new people that have moved into town, and they were like, well, when do you guys do your trick-or-treating? Because, like, they didn't really do any trick-or-treating announcements about specific times or whatever. Like, a lot of towns will post the times, you know, so people know, and they really don't seem to do that here, which is kind of weird to me, but, like, okay. And one of the reasons that we had to start late was that we had an unexpected errand. I'd been trying to get to Dollar Tree, and husband had to go back down towards Dollar Tree tonight around dinner because my mom wanted something, wanted takeout from down there, so he went down to go get it for her, and I'm like, you're gonna be right next to Dollar Tree. Can we run in there super quick so that way it's not, you know, another trip going down there and wasting the gas? So ran into there, and I did manage to score some LED mini fairy lights for this thing. Hopefully they will work out for us here. I had to, it was really tricky getting the batteries in there. The screw was so super tiny. I told Russell, I said, it's a good thing that I wear glasses, because I have one of those emergency repair kits. I actually have a couple, but I could only find one that the screwdriver was in, and I had to use that one, and I felt like it was going to break with the screwdriver trying to get the little screw out that was holding the battery pack closed. I was like, holy hell. Like, how did they get this in here? The one screw was all bent and shit. When I finally managed to get it out, I was like, okay. But, I was holding the lights for a couple of seconds. They didn't feel like they got too hot. I mean, they're not supposed to. But, you know, you never know. So, when we get closer to trimming the tree time, we'll have to see what happens with that. So I'm just pulling out some strands of our fluff here that I've got sitting off to the side. And I'm trying not to do too tight of a twist on it, so that we can get it in here. So I want it to be a little spread out so we can cover some ground. Pretty sure that what I have in this Ziploc bags, I'm probably not going to completely cover the tree. Probably going to have to fluff some more of this color. And this color in the Simply Chunky Paint Box yarn is called Slate Green. Now, the last time I was poking around on their website and looking at the colors in this particular weight or weave of yarn, they were out of a lot of their greens. I think they only had like a couple left in stock at the moment. I'm not quite sure how quickly they managed to restock some of the colors, because some of them look like they've been out of stock for, gosh, I want to say like a good 2 months. So I just don't know. This could be another yarn brand that I fall in love with and have trouble getting the colors back. But the regular price, at least for the US, is $3.99. It does look like they have an EU store as well, because I got an email about a certain type of yarn was back in stock. And I was like, oh, really? Let me see what this yarn looks like. And it said that it was not available to US locations. And I was like, oh, okay. Well then. So, and I think there's a thing at the top where you can set it to, I think, either pounds or US dollars, if I'm remembering correctly. I do have quite the nub filling in here. So yeah, it looked like the whole town was at the trunk or treat event for the kids earlier when we drove by there. They had moved it to one of the church parking lots this year. They usually do it at the state park, but the state park's parking area, like designated parking area, isn't that robust. So like when they have like large events, they have to set up extra parking around the site specifically, and then, you know, all the locals are like charging everybody coming in for the event to park on their property. What the heck is touching me? A piece of fuzz or something tapping my leg. And so at least there was room over at the church for them to allow people to park and stuff. So as we get further down our cone here, now I'm going to try to overlap the colors, you know, as we work our way down. A, for coverage, to fill it out, so we don't have too much of the fuchsia felt poking through, and B, so it doesn't look too stripey. But yeah, so we had to go do that. We're gonna have trouble getting this to stick where we're putting it as we're going around as we get further wrapped around here, and there's gonna be spots where we have to, you know, come back and add some more as we go. So sorry for the little crinkle crackles. That is because we're going into the styrofoam. Not a whole lot we can do. Craft foam, I keep calling it styrofoam. I don't think it's technically styrofoam. Now see right there, that's a bit of resistance. That's because I think that's where we had some of the felt fold over on itself. And then we've got some fluff in there, so be careful because you will hit some tough sections. And if your needle's just, you know, not wanting to go in there, then try a different spot next to it. It's not worth snapping a needle. Let's try to get it tacked down nearby. And we're going to be doing another accent color around this guy. Or at least we're going to be trying to. So, I mean, he looks a little weird at the moment because we have our little nub here. And so he looks a little janky there, but that's alright. So I'm just gonna kind of stretch this out a little bit. And we don't want it too thin. Just try to lay that on top as best as we can there. So he's starting to look like he's got a little hat on. A little bit. Ah. Okay. It's kind of hard to keep everything nice and even here when you're going around a tricky object like this that's 3D. I mean, we can try, but I mean, we'll get there in the end. Let's see, yeah, like we're definitely a little uneven in our ring here. That's okay. That's okay. It'll all work out in the end. I was thinking about canceling today because it was getting late, but then I was like, you know what? I really want to get some work done on this. I can't really afford to cancel because it's getting... I mean, tomorrow's November 1st, or in, you know, a couple hours it will be. So, while I have managed to get some stuff done on the base, I think maybe maybe 2 more nights at the most, and I'll have the base of the base snow fluff layer done on that, and then I'll have to put the walkway in. Haven't figured out if we're doing the walkway together or not. We might not, just because that base is so big. It's gonna be hard enough to get everything situated here, and I'm not quite sure how we're gonna put it together on stream and have it all be visible. That could be a little bit of a sticky situation because of how my camera's set up. So I don't know if I have anything that I can set the camera up on next to me to do a side view. I mean, my desk is a mess. I've got stuff piled everywhere. So you'd definitely be seeing all of the things I would really have to go through and do a full clean and dusting if we attempt that. I mean, it probably needs it anyway, but alright. Yeah, that one spot it's like, no, we're not gonna let you poke there. Not anymore. Alright then. If that's how you're gonna be about it. Okay. So, let's see here. We start to get this guy. This little bit of fuzz is being a little unruly. We're gonna have to try to keep the fingers in there somehow to kind of hold the edges in place. So our tree might be, you know, a little lumpy and bumpy as we go, but that's alright. No real tree is perfectly symmetrical, or very few are. Out there in the wilds. I mean, this will take a little bit of fussing to get this covered to your liking, so do be aware of that. And we don't have a backside of felt to really get in there and smooth out the back with, so a lot of our stabby points may remain visible to a degree. Probably won't be too bad, but... And if you'd rather just take the yarn and just wrap it around, or you could do twine or whatever, if you want more of a rustic feel to things, that is more than fine as well. I can see where, as I'm adding this down, I guess we're sort of tightening our felt along with our fiber around the cone, and I can see where it's like it's taken on a little bit of a lopsided shape there, but that's alright. More personality we'll have happen in there. Alright, so it does kind of look like I'm making a little straw hat, though. We're not, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. Alright, and we're slowly getting our layers wrapped around here. Ever so slowly. And, you know, we're starting to make some quicker progress here because we're on the smaller section. And if you see a spot that you can see your felt poking through, whatever color felt you picked, you didn't have to go with this color. I just did because I had nothing else really earmarked for this color. And I was just like, why not? Why not? It's not gonna hurt anything. So, I mean, you can see as we're stabbing the other loose fluff, excuse me, that hasn't been tacked down yet, shifting and pulling. You know, that's what's gonna happen, because the little notches in the needle are gonna grab all the other fibers and just kind of shove it down through the felt layer and into the foam. So don't panic if you start to notice that happening. I am noticing a notch developing here. So I might have to eventually come back in with some more fluff and fill that part in. So yeah, I mean, if your tree gets a little too lopsided as you're going and it's bothering you, just grab some more fluff and try to fill in that little area. See, like, we've got a bit of a notch starting to develop over here. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not done yet, so it might adjust itself out as we go. It might just be looking strange at the moment for how we've got things set up. Oh. Don't drop the fluff. That would be terrible, wouldn't it, if we dropped the fluff everywhere? That would be no good. No good at all. Alright. So, I'm gonna wait to put the roof together until we are ready to assemble and do all of the glue gun work at one point. Like I said, everything's a mess. I've got like no room to really spread out. Eventually, I'm probably gonna have to upgrade to a larger work surface. And there's a couple different ones that I have my eye on, but that won't happen for a while. I had my eye on this one, and then it kind of went out of stock. And now I'm kind of glad it went out of stock, because I think I changed my mind on it. Because I saw a couple other ones that were more of a better layout L, that had a bit more surface room. I'm torn between one that has a hutch over the extended section, so your monitors wouldn't be sitting under the hutch, which would probably be better for me because I have my monitors raised up a little bit, and I'm worried if it has a hutch where the monitors fit into, if the shelving on the hutch would be too low and hit the top of the monitors. That would be a bit of a concern. So one of the ones I was looking at has the L on the non-monitor section of the desk, and there's, you know, space underneath of it, and I was like, oh, I could get a bunch of cup hooks and move my wall of fluff there, so that way it's right on the desk. Because right now I have a literal part of the wall in the bedroom with nails in the wall and string running between the nails, with a bunch of sandwich size Ziploc bags clothes pinned to it, with a bunch of my yarn pre-fluffed, like these bags. they're all pre-hanging, so that way I can just grab the bag and go. Basically, I've got some colors that I need to refill here soon. These bags have gotten a little light. But, you know, we'll get there. I probably won't end up refilling them until I'm ready to use more of that color, or I move on to the next project that I know I'm going to need that color on. I still have to figure out if I'm going to do the styrofoam ball in the middle of the ornament for my mom's Christmas gift. It would probably be lighter, and I do have some still in our crafty stash, so I probably should, at the very least, just to help use it up, because, you know, I buy the things to use them, and then I hit this thing of where, oh god, if I use it, then I won't have it. And what if I need it later? So I hit this conundrum, and then I'm like, but you got it to use it, so use it. And I'm like, yeah, but then I won't have it anymore. So, terrible with that. It's like, craft supplies are too precious. Like, just fucking use them. So, I mean, I've got a couple of them, so I'll probably will do that. Well, we definitely have a nub. You can kind of see it's like, starts out here, and then it's like, poof. It's definitely tapering up here, probably from all of the smushing that we're doing to the styrofoam. I just think that's funny. Kind of looks like he has a little green top hat on. Alright. That piece got a little thin, so we'll just separate that off for now. Alright. Now, let's work on getting you attached in here. Alright, are we in camera? We're kind of in camera. I have... There we go. OBS did an update not that long ago for some sort of VR cable, and I hate this update because it did something weird to my camera view, where when I have my live camera selected, I've got all these red crossbars, like I've got the outline, and then I've got this other bar running through, I guess, the midway point on the screen, and I'm like, you're in my way. But I guess it's supposed to help you line stuff up. I'm sure there's an option I can probably find to turn it off, but the odds of me remembering to go and do that when I can't remember to do the separate inputs for the different camera zooms so I can switch between them seamlessly. I still haven't remembered to do that, so... Hell, I still have to get the store moved. The store is technically open on Kofi, but I only have 3 things up. I need to get photos done on 2 separate projects so I can get those listed. I still need to finish the speed video of one of those projects so I can link back to it in the description for showing it being made. I still need to my list of I still need to is atrociously, obnoxiously long. But I'm off of podcast co-hosting duty for at least the next 2 weeks. And the amount of time that I need to be checking stuff in beta has wound down. So I should, in theory, on paper, have more time to work on stuff. So that obviously means that it's gonna become migraine town and I'm not gonna be able to get anything done. Because that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But at least for the moment, even though the mother-in-law is technically back, she's not here. She's at her other sister's, like an hour away. So she's not necessarily underfoot, per se. Wow. Somebody's gunning that acceleration pretty hard. I don't think that was... No, that wasn't a motorcycle either. That was one of the loud, obnoxious pickup trucks in town. There's, I think, at least 3 different ones. And I'm just like, mesmerized. How the loudness of it doesn't drive them crazy. I mean, they're pretty loud on their own, but it doesn't help that we have a brick building across the street from us and another brick-stalled car wash like 3 doors down from us, and then our main street in town is like all glass front brick facade buildings from eons ago. So, it just makes it so much louder. I mean, I've heard these vehicles in the neighborhoods when we've been out walking at night. A couple of them have gone by. And they're still pretty loud, but yeah, the sound echoing back off of the other buildings just, oh boy. Extra, extra loud. And our tree is starting to take on a slightly questionable shape here. I'm hoping we can get that evened out as we go, because that could be a little bit of a issue. I'm sure once we get the decorations on it. Oh, I did buy while we were at Dollar Tree, and I got the little mini lights that I had been looking for finally. They had these little tiny glittery bows that I was like, you know what, we can do that on the tree, that's fine. That wouldn't be that hard to attach it. They've got these little twisty tie things on the back of them, but we can snip those off and just glue them in place with the hot glue gun when we have the glue gun out. So I was like, yep, that'll work. I mean, you can find some really cute stuff at the Dollar Tree if you're totally into like DIY decorating. They had a whole bunch of the little plastic clear Christmas balls that they just put out, and I was like, oh, look at these are so cute. I said, I love these, and Russell's like, you love them, there's nothing in them. And I'm like, but that's the point, you put your own stuff in there. And like they had a...
Well, not that you like them, I just didn't understand you saying they were cute when they contained nothing.
Well, they were cute because you can do so much with them. I saw the potential.
That doesn't mean they're cute, that means they're useful. They in themselves are not inherently cute, they're just clear balls of plastic, woman.
Yeah, but then, you know, you can buy sequins and dump them inside, the little colored balls and the little bows. We could have even shoved those in there.
I see that smirk. You know it's not
I saw the cute potential.
But that's not what you said. You just said, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, they were cute.
Huh? No, they're not. They're cute in potentia.
Potential. Take your pill.
Fucking clear glass ball is cute.
I was really hoping that they had the, I was hoping they had the light bulb version one that I've seen floating around. But, you know, Dollar Tree's... Just because somebody posts a video on YouTube that this is what was at their Dollar Tree doesn't mean you're gonna get it at your Dollar Tree. It's kind of not exactly a hot mess, but you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, some stores might get close to the same thing, and yeah, they had the clear balls, but I was really hoping for the clear light ones, like the light bulbs, like the old-fashioned big bulby stuff. But I didn't see any of those. But I mean, I could really do some damage in there to make some ornaments. You going to bed?
Yep. Have a good night, Squishy Pants.
Play with Tyler and leave.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Would you like me to stay here for a little longer? I can even make the sounds appropriate. Skitch, 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 skitch.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock. It's bedtime for me.
Oh, if I hadn't kicked you and Tyler off of your call, you would have still been talking to him.
11 o'clock's a definite bedtime for him.
Really? Because the other night he was like still awake at like 1.
Yeah, it's because he's having sleeping problems.
Oh, okay. Now, is he making it to tomorrow's game?
In theory, yes.
Because they have decisions to be made for their D&D game. Like, the husband and our friend Tyler are co-running it. So they take weeks, they take turns. Like, a few weeks this one's doing it, and a few weeks the other one's doing it. But our friend Tyler is currently not DMing because of school. He's going to school part-time for some kind of computer electronic thing. And he's working on one of his degrees. So he's been busy with that. But he would have had more time to play, but he picked up an elective robotics class or something. And he somehow became part of a robotics team. And they have a competition / exhibition, something that they have to go to that I don't think he realized about at first, sometime next month. And they thought they had their robot programmed. He's on part of the programming team, and something happened the one week because he couldn't make it to the D&D game because they had to have like emergency robotics team meetings because they had to scrap the robot and switch it to a different one, and then that meant they had to redo all the programming. And I was just like, holy shit, and you guys have to be in Kentucky when? For this competition? Like, it's kind of cutting it close. But we started late because right as I had finished shoving dinner in my face, and I was like, okay, let's go. I was just finishing out typing everything, and I was about to do my tweets, and Russell's like, hey. And I was like, what? And he's like, is it okay if maybe you cancel tonight? And I was like, why? And he's like, well, Tyler really wants to play the new game he got us, and we've been really wanting to play it for a long time, and he saw a good deal on it, so he picked it up. And I was like, how late do you guys think you're gonna play? And he's like, well, latest would be 11, so I was like, well, I guess I can go late as long as you don't have a problem with me doing that. He's like, okay, that's fine. So then they were sitting here playing that game, because it's been a couple of weeks, I think, since they've actually had time and the energy, both of them, to sit down and play something with each other. And I couldn't really just do this tomorrow, because tomorrow's D&D day, and tomorrow's one of the days that they generally, I give them a week to where I'm not going to interfere with anything that they have planned to do. And I was thinking, well, I'll give you Monday in lieu of Wednesday, but Wednesday was the day that I had to switch off of, because that was supposed to be their other game day because of his schedule. And then I'm like, look, damn it, Monday's my night. So I let them go for a couple of hours, and our friend was starting to lag in the game, and I heard Russell say, oh, well, let's stop here then. And I looked at the time, I'm like, oh, you're stopping early. So I quick finished my snack that I was in the middle of eating, and I was starting to finish getting set up here and cleaning up the work area, and then they're sitting there talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. I'm like, hey, are you guys actually done? And he's like, yeah, we're done. It's like, why? Can I go then? Because I'm kind of waiting on you guys. Because they could sit there and talk for like another 45 minutes. Easily. I'm like, you guys can bullshit tomorrow. I'd like to do the things, please. Okay, thanks. But with it being Halloween, and I figured people would be either handing out candy or going to their own Halloween parties. Although I don't know how many people have Halloween parties on a weeknight, work night. So I was like, well, we can just go a little bit later, but I kind of wanted to get going here. Wow, our tree's definitely taking an interesting shape here. It's kind of hard to see there. Let me grab this piece of paper towel. So, yeah, it's kind of almost looks like a thimble on the end there, or like a thumb. It'll be interesting to see what shape this cone looks like by the time we get to the bottom. Interesting. Hopefully it's not like all one shape here. But we're gonna be coming back in with some darker green that I have from the other yarn, and doing sort of like either rings or like a scallopy edge around it as best as we can, or maybe I'll just do V's or something, just to kind of give it the impression that there's layers of leaves, like it's sort of shadowed. So I was originally going to cover it in the dark green altogether and then come back and do accents in this color, and then Russell's like, no, do it the other way. I was like, well, alright, I guess we can try it. I mean, in the end, it's still a piece of artwork, I suppose, so we're definitely experimenting here and out of standard comfort zone. That's for certain. Noticed today one of the numbers on our mailbox post is hanging upside down. So I'm not quite sure what happened. I think it may have been that way for a little while. And I just realized that the gap between the numbers is because the top half of it became unsecure, because it's one of those numbers where it looks the same whether it's right side up or not. So I was like, what the heck? Did the nail pop out, or was the number damaged? I didn't get a good look at it because we were on our way out the door and we were in a hurry because, you know, rush hour traffic and all. Well, traffic wasn't too bad heading out. Traffic was getting a little silly coming back, though, because everybody was on their way home for work and a lot of the Halloween events had started, and it was just kind of crazy. We ended up turning our front porch light off. We don't really get trick-or-treaters in our particular spot. I think one year we had like 3. But because of where we're at, we're like on the outskirts of a neighborhood facing the main road, and there's not even a sidewalk on our side of the street. So I can see it not really being an ideal spot. And there's only there's one house on one side of us and 2 on the other. That's kind of it. So I don't really think it's worth deviating from a normal walking house paths where there's more houses at. But we didn't really have money to buy a whole bunch of candy either. Like, my mom bought 1 bag just in case, and I'm like, well, if it really comes to it, I mean, we do have those candy canes in the fridge from last year if we get desperate. But I'll tell you, the candy cane flavors they are coming out with kind of weird. I mean, when we were in Dollar Tree tonight, they had some that were like Cold Stone Creamery flavors from like the ice cream place, and I was just like, we looked at the flavor and I can't even remember what half of them were, and I'm just like, I can't even picture what that would taste like. And I'm just like, yeah, no, that's okay. And they had like special holiday edition flavored Dum-Dums, and I'm like, what are these? And I picked it up, and there was cotton candy, which I was like, but this is already in the other bags, so how is this a holiday special edition flavor? I guess because it was mixed in with some of the other ones. There was a hot cocoa one, which I was kind of like, okay. And there was a warm apple pie one, and I forget what the other couple were. I was kind of hung up on the... Hey now, stop that. Kitty. Kitty. Oh, hang on. What cat is doing this? Hey, hey, hey. P-Butt or Ed? I don't know if you can hear that tapping. Probably Ed. I think our cat outside, our freeloading stepchild, might be here. Let me... Oh, I can't type with these things on my fingers. Like, I'm not lined up on my keys right. But somebody is digging at our front door, and on the inside, one of the cats is. So, child might be sitting in front of the door, tormenting one of the indoor cats. And by freeloading stepchild, I mean the cat that doesn't live here that thinks he does. It's not an actual child. Yep, he's sitting on the doorstep. So, although now Ed's stopped. Nope, now he goes again. Like, this cat wants to come in, right? But he's fucking territorial as shit outside. And I'm like, no, you're not coming in. So we have to be so careful around the door when he's out there and one of the other guys is like right behind us, looming around my desk.
Alright, Ed.
Yeah,
Ed.
I heard a digging at the door,
Ed.
and I'm like, who is it?
Please.
And I saw Ed was missing from the window. I fed him when he was meowing. Watch that nobody tries to dart out on you. But, like, he seems like a friendly enough cat. He wants, like, he will dig at our screens. Because we have a couple windows that face our front porch. And he'll... He's been a hungry critter tonight.
It is getting colder.
And, he'll claw at the screens to get our attention because he wants cuddles. And I'm like, buddy, you're super cute and all, but I just can't. Oh, that reminds me. The lady that started the pound, she passed away yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
So, yeah, I found that out earlier tonight on Facebook. That, one of the ladies that started the pound, two of the other, people that helped her.
Well, they did stop working on the pound.
Yeah, I think that might have been the lady that lived on the corner, whose property they used for the dog junk pile or junkyard or whatever. But it was posted, the notice about her passing away was posted by one of the other volunteers that does a lot of stuff. So there's still two other heavily involved volunteers, but we actually have two animal control officers now, and one of those only happened like maybe 2 years ago. Like, she was going and picking up animals and taking them to the pound herself. But they finally have two police trained animal control officers. I don't know if she was one of the driving forces behind that or what, but she definitely handled a lot of stuff. Junkyard Dog, that's what it was called. There's this big thing that they do. I think it's Memorial Day weekend, the beginning of summer. There's a lot of junk/antique shops around here. It's like one of the things that people seem to come here to do is to look for magical finds that they can either DIY or that are old and rustic and they just want to have. So they used her property. I believe it was her property. A lot of the time. Sorry, I keep feeling like something's touching my leg. And it's probably a random piece of fuzz that got away. And they would call it Junkyard Dog because the other stuff they called like junk at the mill or whatever. And they would do the fundraising, or one of the big fundraising events for the pound, because it was a no-kill shelter. Very small. I think they could only house like 8 dogs at a time, if that. Might have only been 6. Oh, it might be 8 now. And they've got some other... Oh. Wow. That's quite a size difference we got going on there, isn't it? Alright. Well then. Well then. So we might lose like, what, 1/3 of the diameter maybe? As we go around here. Perhaps. Keep those unprotected fingers out of the way there. Gonna be a very interesting looking tree by the time we're done, that's for certain. I mean, we can add more girth to that, I guess, as we go. It's starting to look a little too like a dowel rod. We'll see what happens with that. But, you know, I was surprised to see that. Like, I didn't know I don't know what happened, they didn't say. And I was so jealous. The one trunk or treat Halloween event area they had set up in the next town over. Man, they had pony rides in the one church's parking lot, and I was like, I want to ride the pony. I would kill the pony if I sat on it. Pony would be like, I don't think so. But I was like, I want to do the pony ride. God, I don't even know if I could get my ass up on a horse now. I'd probably break a bone. I mean, I used to ride. I had been doing riding lessons for a while, Western, and the lady that was teaching me was kind of teaching me under the table because she had gotten into a car accident and she technically wasn't supposed to be doing lessons, but like I think the car accident happened like a week or 2 after she started teaching me. And she's like, no, I'll keep doing you, but she's like, I can't do much for you. You're gonna have to do like everything. She's like, I'll walk you through it. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, she was walking me through brushing the horse, and we didn't get to like hoof picking or anything, but we were definitely doing grooming and and basic stuff. I got super scared though. So I kind of hit a wall. She was trying to teach me how to do a canter, and I got scared I was gonna fall off because I kept feeling like I was losing my balance. Trot and walk I was fine with, but that canter, man, that scared me something bad. I was like, oh, I can't do this. And we were trying to work through my my fear on that. And then she's like, there's a 4-H show coming up. I think you should do it. And I'm like, but I can't even get the canter down. And then it was like a really rushed thing, and I was like, oh god, no. It's like, I don't even have any of the clothes I would need. I'm not even part of 4-H. She's like, you don't have to be, it's fine. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. And then I ended up getting my job at the craft store then, and so this was some years ago. Before I had really messed up my neck and everything. I doubt I'd be able to do it now. But, I mean, I was kind of enjoying it. I was absolutely terrified I was gonna fall off. Learning how to do the stupid canter thing, though. Like, you don't realize how high up you are until you're actually sitting up there, and it's like, whoa. Like, I mean, it's not like 30 story building Ferris wheel tall, but when you've got something underneath of you with 4 legs that's moving, and you're that high, and you're like, okay, no sudden movements, please. It's a little, daunting, to say the least. For me, at least. I was definitely questioning my sanity, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can work through this. And Ross was like, yeah, there's no way you could do that now. He's like, there's no way. And I'm like, but I used to. And he's like, yeah, you used to. You're a lot more broken now than you were before. I'm like, yeah, but they do, like, therapeutic riding and stuff. Maybe it'll help. He's like, yeah, okay. Although, I mean, I don't have my helmet anymore. I'd have to get a new one. And all that. Well, we're definitely compressing it, and I think we're definitely going to have to add to that. But we'll figure out how much we have to add around that as we go. So I was kind of hoping for a tree that was a little bit bigger, but that might be just because of how thin that area was. We'll have to see what happens as we work our way down our tree here. Because right now the shape that it's turning into is a little odd. But we'll see. We can bring it back, worst comes to worst. I mean, it won't be the same exact shape, but it is saving us from having to have that core of, the foam is saving us from having to have that core of roving on the inside, so definitely a work in progress. As we go along here. Alright, so that is a little bit thin right in there. I can see our felt poking through. So the question is, do I just want to double back on that? We could. We very much could. Sorry, I am hearing cats being cats, basically. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna have to go bust some heads here. They always wait till Russell goes to bed to start acting extra crazy. Always, always. So we need to do my mom's Christmas ornament, which is going to be some kind of rooster or something. I already gave her a chicken for Mother's Day, so I guess I need to do a rooster now. We're going to try to needle felt a boat Christmas ornament for my dad. Kind of similar to what he used to race. So he used to race E-class hydroplanes amateurly. And so last year we did the clay ornaments of the boat and the helmet and stuff. So this year I was like, well, we have the needle felty things, and it's now sort of becoming an ornament tradition inadvertently. So we might try to see what we can come up with. My husband was gonna try to sew together sort of like a quilted together in different types of fabric, like a boat, like my dad's boat, and a rooster for my mom that he was gonna then try to attach to a sweatshirt, like a zip-up hoodie. But he suddenly kind of was second guessing his ability to do that because he hasn't done that much experimentation with the sewing machine, and he was really afraid he was gonna fuck it up. Oh shit, we need to go. So we need to return the fabric and get store credit. Fortunately, he got it at Walmart, so we can just, use that back against groceries because we can't find the receipt anywhere. And he found this place that does custom iron-on vinyl stuff. So he's got the thing done for my mom. He has to do my dad's still. There was talk of doing one for me with one of my flamingo emotes that's partially been adjusted. I would really love to have a sweatshirt with like a sweatshirt coat with like all of the emotes, but that would get kind of expensive. It would be cheaper to just do a seamless design pattern and see if I can just get that like off of Spring, which used to be Teespring, or one of those print-on-demand places like Spreadshirt or something. Because we realized we don't have an iron. We did at one point, but I think it got so ancient and nobody was using it that we got rid of it in one of our mass cleanings. Because his mom just stockpiles endless amounts of junk that she never uses, so she she's got a bit of a hoarding tendency on her. I'll never forget the state of Russell's old bedroom when we moved down here. So, like, when he moved out, he brought, like, all of his stuff but furniture, right? So he had left the one dresser that he was using here, and I vaguely remembered his room was really big, because it technically wasn't described as a bedroom, but it was being used as a bedroom, so it was kind of more like a big living room. But so I mean, there was room in there. Like, you could have like a whole, this is our entertaining area, this is our work area, and this is our bed area. Like, you could like section it off if you really wanted to. And his mom had said, oh, well, I need to work on cleaning some of the stuff out of the room. I had been using it to store some stuff in. And he's like, okay. And he kept asking her while we were driving down, oh, have you made any progress? And she goes, a little bit. And we're like, well, we'll be there like tomorrow or something. So, I mean, did you get anything cleaned out of there? And she goes, yeah, I got some. And we're like, okay, we had no idea what the room looked like. We got in and we got out of the truck, and I'm glad that I had asked for as much time as I did on the truck, because we got in, I think it was like early afternoon or something, and the hell? Hang on, I'm hearing meowing. And we don't know if the outside cat's been getting into fights lately or not. But yeah, we got in, we got out of the truck, we walked into the house. And I don't think his mom was home. I think he had a key, though, to get into that door. Or she left a key somewhere for us. She might have been at work. We opened the door to his room from our front porch, and him and I were both like, holy shit. There was stuff everywhere. You could not walk through the room. If you could walk through the room, it was like a 1-foot pathway to get from the door to the front porch to the hallway. And we were exhausted from the drive. Our nerves were shot, and I just looked at Russell. I was like, this is what it looks like after she got some stuff cleared out of here? And he's like, oh my god. And he just he didn't know what to think. Like, he just was like, oh my god. He's like, where did all this stuff come from? Because apparently it was not there when he moved up to New Jersey with me. I mean, he had moved out for a couple of years, but he was just like, oh my god. And now the cat in here is digging at the door again, so this is just gonna be what tonight's gonna be. It was crazy. So we actually had to clear one side of the room, and we were taking everything on that side of the room and just shoving it over to the other and just stacking it. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is, but I'm like, I hear meowing. Why do I hear meowing? I didn't know if it was Cal meowing in the hallway or if he was getting into trouble outside. He seems very needy tonight.
Yes, he does. He's just reaching up and meowing and calling out the door.
Yeah, he was calling at the screen, and then I heard watch the door because somebody in here is wanting that cat bad out there. Like, I feel really bad, but, like, the only thing we can do with this cat is either feed him and occasionally visit with him outside, or trap him and take him to the pound. Like, these are the options. Because he can't come in. Not with his tomcat tendencies right now. Like, he's not fixed. He's most definitely not fixed. He's got a pair on him. So, and the way he's territorial on the outside of the house, and we have 3 male cats in here. They're fixed, but the way they dig at the door and the window when he's outside. And he knows they're in here because he watches them through the door. Like, they sit there and stare at each other. He will sit there on our front welcome mat and take a bath in front of them while they're digging at the door, clawing at the glass, trying to get out to him. He knows they're in here. And I'm like, you can't come in, buddy. I'm not starting World War III in here. Number one, we just can't. As much as it kills us. We can't take in everything off the street. We don't have the funding to do it, my friend. And we already have a turf war going on with one of the female cats and one of the male cats, where she wants nothing to do with him. Absolutely not. And I'm not dealing with 4 male cats sorting their shit. Especially when one thinks that he's in charge. And then we've got the female, younger one who hates the alpha male that's in charge. And they're constantly hissing and growling at each other. And I'm like, stop the madness. Oh, get this, right? So, for some reason, and I don't know why, our Christmas tree and the bag of ornaments that we ended up with, that we took off of the tree, somehow ended up in the mother-in-law's bedroom. I guess it was snowing, or it had snowed when we had taken the tree down, and we couldn't get out there to our shed because the shed door froze shut or something. Something happened. And so the tree went back in its box, and it was a fake fiber optic tipped tree. And for some reason, the ornaments didn't get put into a used, an empty kitty litter bucket, because we use them for storage, because, you know, we have a shit ton of them. So some we use for storage and some we have to take to the dump. But for some reason, it didn't end up back in the bag of ornaments. Didn't end up back in the bucket that we had. I guess the bucket made it out to the shed. I don't know. Because we had some extra overflow in one bucket. Well, apparently, one of the males that has to be on timeout when the older female is out, because they do not get along. Like, we rotate them through the day. This cat can be out now. This one has to go and have a nap in the other room and calm down so that, you know, they're not at each other's throats. Well, something happened and he got mad, I guess, and started marking someplace in her room. Russell found it by accident because he was trying to track down the smell. And he's like, what the hell? And he's like, it's just coming from the litter box. He's like, I need to clean the litter box. And I was like, no, that's too strong to be coming from just the litter box. So he found the time to start cleaning in there and found it. What he thought he found. Apparently, when he thought he found it, and we did a shit ton of laundry, was not the primary location. Because I said, I'm still smelling it. And he's like, no, it's gotta be, I said, no, it's not the litter box. It's too strong. I'm still smelling it. So he did some more cleaning and found the rest of it. Except the bastard cat somehow half-marked our bag of Christmas ornaments. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And Russell's like, well, we might be able to rinse them off. They're mostly the plastic balls. And I'm like, you can't really rinse off glitter balls, sir. The glitter's gonna wash right off of them. Those ones are basically destroyed. Like, those have to go. He goes, yeah, but there's some that don't have glitter on it. We might be able to just rinse those off. And I'm like, is this the same bag that has all of our fragile family ornaments? You know, the ones that you make when you're like 5 and 6 in school, of your handprint, that have a photo on them, that are out of plaster, that are absorbent, and the little wood cutouts, and, you know, all the little tchotchkes that you make growing up. And he's like, maybe? And I'm like, I'm gonna be so upset if those are ruined. Because those are not replaceable. So, I mean, we can replace some of them at, like, Dollar Tree. Some of them. But, you know, I'd also gotten wood cutout flamingos that we painted last year to put on the tree. And he said, those are in that bag. And I'm like, well, those are probably dead to us now because they're wood. And they may have absorbed something. So we have to try to figure out how we're gonna attempt to save these ornaments. I guess the ones that are full on plastic without any special, like, glittery things on them. Those ones we can try to rinse off. Maybe give a quick spritz with vinegar and dry them real good and see what happens with those. I don't know what we're gonna do if the special ornaments did in fact get marked. My only other thought process behind that is maybe a container of baking soda and roll the ornaments around in there to maybe pull the smell out and see if that does anything. Like, let them, like, soak in some baking soda that we can just, like, knock off of them. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a couple more loops around the top there. We'll see, but I'm thinking that's what we might have to do as we work our way down here. But yeah, I'm not too thrilled about that because we didn't really have the money to replace Christmas ornaments anyway, and I'm just more upset about the fragile ones, like the non-replaceable ones, really. I mean, if they're fucked, they're fucked. There's not much we can do about that now. I didn't know that those were in there, not in a container. Because usually that stuff gets put in containers to keep it safe. I mean, there's not much we can do about it now, but we'll have to see how bad the damage is. The bag of ornaments is sitting in our dining room. I haven't had the time to delve too deep in there. We've got a ton of laundry we have to do from the mother-in-law's room, plus our weekly. Well, not really weekly. We don't really do laundry that often anymore. I think we do laundry like once every 2 to 3 weeks. Unless we run out of clothes sooner than that, so. But, as soon as I get the chance to do some more investigating into that, which might be this week, I hope. Depends on what we have time for. Because, I mean, the tree's not coming out yet. We'll probably wait till Thanksgiving to put the tree up. I think the one year we rushed it because the tree was on sale and we're like, oh, let's just put it up now. So, we'll probably wait a little bit, but then again, if we have to replace a bunch of ornaments, I don't want to sit too long on doing that, because Dollar Tree's Christmas stuff goes pretty quick, and I don't really have the money to get the tubs of ornaments from Walmart. Like, you'll see like the ornament sets, like the buckets of like X number of multicolored Christmas balls or whatever at Walmart. But I really want to do, I used to hate the color pink with a passion, but like I went through this phase where I'm like, no, I don't like the color pink. But now I'm like entering a phase where I'm kind of like warming up to the color pink. I mean, the flamingos are pink, but you know. So I want to do a flamingo tree at some point. I kind of want to get a white fake Christmas tree and get a set of like pink and silver Christmas balls, if I can find them. And then get a whole bunch of different flamingo ornaments to put on my flamingo tree, and get like a string of white lights and a string of pink lights to put on that sucker. That's what I'd like to do. But I think due to budget constraints, I'm gonna have to make the flamingo ornaments. And that's not that big of a deal. I still have some Sculpey. And I have that matte sealer here somewhere. I didn't use all of it yet. And that one didn't make the clay sticky. So I could make a whole bunch out of Sculpey. And then we could like try to needle felt some stuff, either one-sided or 3D stuff. If I could find a potpourri that I didn't mind, I could do like little flamingo pouches and put a scent in there, but that might be difficult. Maybe I can get some cloves, like from the baking aisle, from the Seasons, and put that in a couple. I'm not sure if I'd really want cinnamon on the tree. Like, the thing of it is, though, I mean, the cats. So I can't really scent anything, because then they're going to be like, oh, what's this? And then they might shred it. So I can't really do any of the fluffy ornaments on the tree right now, because I know they're going to destroy them. So that's part of the big problem right now. I gotta figure that out. I'd like to get a pack of either several different ribbons or ornament hooks or something to have to hang up any of the ones that I make. To hang them on the tray. And might be better off trying to get those at Dollar Tree. I did see some when we were in there tonight, but I didn't have a whole lot of budget to work with tonight, so I was like, this is gonna be tough. So as it was, I spent like $6 there tonight that I really probably shouldn't have. But oh well. I got the lights for the tree, so I mean, it's starting to not shrink down quite so much. It's hard to see on this dark background. That's why I've got a piece of paper towel here. I mean, he still looks a little nubby. He kind of looks like the top of like a glass bottle. But you know, we're working on him. We're getting there. Kind of felt bad. It feels weird that we haven't carved pumpkins in like forever, but we don't really get any trick-or-treaters, and we could just carve them for us. Was he just in cuddle mode?
I guess. We'll see if that stops him.
So like, he was giving me all sorts of business earlier, but when I dumped more food in the bowl, he walked away from me, and I was like, okay, cool. You were just hungry. I mean, it's not supposed to get that cold tonight. Like, it's supposed to get in the 40s, I think, but the rest of the week it's going to be almost 75. So,
yeah, he's still chilling outside the door. Oh, now he's by the tin can cleaning himself.
the tin can.
The birdseed can.
That's not in the birdseed bucket?
What birdseed bucket?
Why is there a birdseed can?
The garbage can thing?
Oh, I thought you meant was like a little like
No.
metal coffee can, like a literal tin can, not the garbage can. Okay. We have a metal trash can on our porch that we somehow inherited that we just keep. We had two, but the weather got it. So this one we keep on the porch out of the rain, and we're just housing huge ass bags of sunflower seeds from Tractor Supply in there. Although I don't even know if there's any bird food in there. I don't remember the last time my mom asked to go to Tractor Supply, actually. But I have a feeling it's going to be a very long night of that cat constantly meowing at the door, and I'm like, we're not being mean people. He's not our cat. We don't know where he came from. He just showed up one night in the middle of a rainstorm meowing at us frantically and immediately started trying to fight the other outdoor cat that we believe does have a home that was here visiting. And every time that other cat shows up, he like wants to fight him to the teeth, and I'm like, you gotta stop. I don't know where you came from. This isn't your house. He goes somewhere when it rains, though, and we don't know where. So we're not 100% convinced he doesn't have somewhere to go. But when we posted on one of the town Facebook pages, we're like, yeah, does anybody recognize this cat? Because it's been hanging out around our house. We're just trying to figure out if he has a home. Nobody said anything, so nobody claimed him. And we feel bad because there are some people around town. There's a very large feral cat population around here, or outdoor cat population, especially up by the lake. There's a lake that's out on the outskirts of city limits, right? That some people go fishing at. And there's so many cats up there now that somebody's literally going up there, like, at least at night, most nights, and feeding all of them and, like, putting out piles of cat food for them. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not know there was this many cats up here. And I'm like, couldn't you, like, at least fix your cat if you're gonna, you know? Or, you know, here's a thought. Take them and surrender them to a pound, to a local pound at least, or try to rehome them. Instead of just, you know, taking them up there and being like, good luck, buddy. Like, don't do that. That's really a dick move. I mean, there is a barn cat population for the ferals that they've trapped and fixed. And we think the one cat that was visiting was part of that program because he's got a notch cut in his ear. And we don't think it was a fight. It was too clean of a cut. And I know a lot of times for, like, the feral cat capture, fix, and release or put into a barn cat program, a lot of times they will notch the ears so they know that they've dealt with this cat before. And when we had posted a picture of that one saying, hey, this cat's at our house, it showed up meowing like it was starving. We did feed it, but does it actually belong to somebody? Like, does he have a home? And I thought I had seen like a little gray goatee under his chin, but he was hard to get a good look at in the dark. And then the next time I saw him, or when the photo that Russell took, I couldn't see it in the photo. So now I was questioning whether or not I saw it or not. And then there was like 3 different people posted a picture of a cat that looked almost dead ringer for this cat. And they're like, oh yeah, he's mine. But it was 3 different people, and I'm like, and one person was like, theirs was a female. I'm like, this isn't a female. So, at least we're pretty sure it's not a female. And somebody else is like, oh yeah, I live over on this street. He's mine. He's an outdoor cat most of the time. He's a drama queen. He's not hungry. He's like, he eats damn well, so. I think it was that person because I know where that street was that they mentioned. And that's not that unreasonably far from where we are, so I could see this being on like the outer limits of his territory, shall we say. But we haven't really seen him all that much because this freeloading stepchild of ours that thinks they live here keeps chasing him away. Like, they were getting into some pretty rough and tumble, nasty fights. Like, we had to separate them carefully the one day. Russell has a big-ass walking stick that he was putting in between them. And the one day we had to, like, spray water at them to get them to knock it the fuck off because they were about to run into the road. It was late at night, but we still have traffic at times. And during a traffic lull, we're like, no, you need to stop. Or take it out back, because somebody's gonna get run over here. I mean, we're not doing too bad. Like, we're making some progress here. It's gonna be a really funny shaped tree, but, you know, we're getting there. Let's see, what time is that? I have to remember that we got a late start tonight, so I don't know how long we're gonna go. Might do a little bit more here. We're certainly not going to finish the tree today, but so let me see. Where did I put those lights at? Now Russell's like, well, how are you going to hide the battery box? And I'm like, I don't know, because I had already kind of written off the idea of being able to find the lights because I couldn't find them. So I didn't cut the notches in the base to run the cord through. And he's all like, well, we can still do that. And I'm like, yeah, but the felt's in the way now because the base is wrapped in felt. He goes, well, we'll cut a hole through the felt. And I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work, because not only is there felt covering the base, I've also needle felted the snow on 90% of the base. Like, I'm almost done that part, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, we might just have to just sit it behind the thing, because it is battery. So I mean, at least we don't have to worry about, you know, being in a area that's close to an electrical outlet. So I mean, that's good, but at the same time, we're gonna see the cord, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get those lights when I couldn't find them to begin with, so I kind of, you know, like I said, I wrote it off, so I didn't pre-plan for that. If I was still expecting to get the lights, I would have, but... And then I was thinking, well, maybe we could hollow out, we could dig out a spot on the bottom. But then that means that this guy is not going to be able to be attached to the base. However, that being said, we might have some sew-on Velcro in which I could put a strip on either side and attach it to the base with some glue or something. I don't know, I gotta think about it. It's either that or we're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna see the battery pack sticking out the back, or I make some kind of like little shed out of cardboard or something and stick it next to it and like be like woodshed or something. Also a possibility, because I mean, then if I start to dig this out, then it's gonna be flakes everywhere constantly. Yeah, gotta think about that. Alright. So, I think we're probably gonna stop about here. I was just trying to see if I had a bigger piece of white, and I don't, so I've got these two little ripped up pieces. So this is how we're looking. So it's a little distorted and a little lumpy so far, but I feel like we can always come back in and wrap some more fuzz around it. You can definitely feel the sponginess of the compressed styrofoam in there, craft foam. So I mean, you know, it's interesting. I won't know for sure what our shape's really gonna look like until we get there. This could still look like something out of Whoville. I mean, here's really solid. Like, I'm like really gripping this part down here, but this, I'm like, it's got some give. So think we're still okay. I think it was definitely a good call to put that felt on there just to help contain everything. So that's gonna do it for today. Next stream is gonna be on Thursday, and that'll be Coral Island. Friday will be Planet Zoo. Sorry, I had to think. Planet Zoo, we're going to be doing our aardvark exhibit because we spun the wheel at the end of last week. We have to figure out where we're going to put that bad boy. I got to look at his climate and stuff and see. And it just looks so weird looking at it from that angle. Saturday, we're not doing anything unless I get up early. Not likely, though. There's a chance we could do something late Saturday night, but it depends on how long it takes me to get the other shit done that I need to do on Saturday for the podcast. Hi, Little. I know, Little. Why are we meowing? Everybody's lost their minds here tonight. And then next Sunday, we'll be back to working on this guy. This weekend, we have our time change in the US where we flip back an hour. So the times will still stay the same for stream. You just might have to adjust when you come to find me, providing I start on time. So, you know, my sleep schedule might get a little bit sorted out on that. We'll see. It might not. Probably won't. But yeah, that's what this week's stream schedule is looking at. Again, sorry for the late start today and the slightly shorter stream, but it's just the way things worked out today. Hi, what? What is the matter? I know, I'm almost done, and then I will come pet you, okay? Yeah, I know. Hi. So let me go deal with the cat, or one of the cat demons, and Meow, yes, you're a cat demon. And I will see you guys all on Thursday. Until then, have a good week. Take care of yourselves. And until next time.